Hey everybody, welcome back to Northernlion, plays the Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus. Great work on... Wait, that's the wrong save file. I know that my mouse pointer's on the screen. What are you, my mom? People have been tweeting me the lost unlock method. They say, NL, aren't you forgetting something? You keep talking about how you're almost done with Isaac. Or you're almost done with the third save file, I should say. Aren't you forgetting about the previously hardest character in the game, the Lost? To which I respond with a hearty laugh. The Lost. You know why I didn't mention the Lost? Because the Lost is easy. Hold on. How to unlock the Lost. Right, you can do the weird 4 method, or there's a new one. Hold on. The Lost Isaac Wiki. See, what on earth? No, there's a new way to die as and come back as the Lost. I know it to be true. Don't give me this die to a mullaboom nonsense. Missing poster Isaac. Dying in a sacrifice room while holding it will outright unlock the Lost regardless of current character. Beautiful. Okay. So what we're going to do is not actually plan to unlock the Lost. I think we're going to knock out like whatever other stuff remains here, which is not very much. And then, while doing that, I know we got some greedier left. Not actually as much as I thought, but while we're doing that... Yeah, we can do a Samson run. We will look for missing poster and try to unlock the Lost. So here's your seed today, 62NSDL3M. I'm excited to be playing vanilla... Well, you're not vanilla, but you know what I mean. Regular old... Isaac again after doing the ultra hard challenge for like a day straight. I'm so proud of myself, admittedly. You know, maybe it's a braggadocious worldview, but we did so well on the ultra hard challenges. Just because it took us forever to beat them doesn't mean we did poorly. You know, we didn't hold R until we got a good run. We just made... You know what? Hit me, please. Thank you. Hit me again, please. Thank you. We just made that run work. In spite of the fact that it didn't want to. Well, at least a couple of them didn't want to. The fact that we've made it happen feels good. It feels like I don't want to say ascended, but, you know, Sick Brain Isaac was getting the job done. Now, it's been like 3 days since Sick Brain Isaac. Now I'm just stuffed up. The brain is normal. You know, now I'm dealing with the consequences of Sick Brain with Healthy Brain. Just sick throat now. Now I'm like, man, did I really screw up my assignment that bad? Okay, I guess so. I'm hoping that it's not a curse. That I have freed myself from the prison. But also the exaltation of rhinovirus. Hey, what was I saying? I don't know. I was thinking about it today, dude. 2018 for me, it's like the most mundane thing. But my year was like, pardon me. Like, defined by the common cold. I'm pretty sure I got sick 4 or 5 times this year, which is just staggering for me. In public school, well, elementary school, middle school, I was the perfect attendance kid. What happened, man? Airplanes, lack of sleep, and a particularly bad cold and flu season. If anything, I'm just mad at myself. I don't know, maybe it was the flu, maybe it wasn't a common cold, but I'm mad at myself because like a week before TwitchCon, I was like, you know what? I'm downtown at the pharmacy, I should really get my flu shot. It's free here. All you have to do is sign a 576-page rider and then listen to somebody very patronizingly explain to you that you know, there's no connection between the flu shot and other genetic diseases. Oh, well, you go, no, I know. No, I know. Please just stick me. But anyway, I didn't. I said, nah, I'll get it done later. I probably won't get the flu. And then this son of a gun just got the flu. Anyway, we don't need to belabor the point. So now I have, like, the weirdest New Year's resolution. Don't get sick as often. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I already eat a substantial amount of garlic. Get more sleep. That's especially at like conventions, man. That's the ticket right there. Also, maybe, you know, everybody laughed at Howie Mandel and still does because he is still alive. Howie Mandel doesn't shake hands. He fist buffs. Fist buffs? Fist bumps. Everyone said Howie Mandel's a germaphobe. Is he a germaphobe or just a genius? You know how often Howie Mandel gets sick? Never. Every night he goes to sleep in a hyperbaric chamber, sealed on all sides from germs and also the reality that most people live in on a daily basis. I don't know if we'd rather have Swallowed Penny or if we'd rather have Child's Heart. They're both kind of like in the same camp. What I do know is that we do want Missing Poster. How are we going to get Missing Poster? I don't have an answer to your question. One way or another, I'm going to find you. I'm going to get you. One way would be Mama's Box of Trinkets. Another way, play fortune tellers when they show up. It's a relatively substantial one. So we probably are going to try to go to our curse. Ooh, don't walk into this guy. You need to get the deal with the devil so that we can decline the deal with the devil. Okay, please locomote into the fire. Almost done it. No arcade on this floor. Unfortunately, that's what you really want as Samson, not Gigafart. Sounds like a German word for a Pentium 3. Okay. No! Why would you? Oh, I'm sick. You can't be mad at me. So that's obviously like, you know, it wasn't really my intention to take Necronomicon. That being said, everything has kind of worked out. And to be honest with you, I think I actually prefer Necronomicon. So it turns out, actually, I'm a genius. I just didn't realize it until just that moment. We'll go check this quickly, because we are one Guppy item deep. Hey, I'm a dummy still, though, because we have now kind of compromised, our ability to get to Mega Satan. Unless... Hold on, I want to peep this real quick. I'm sorry to do this to you. Okay, fair enough. I was hoping to get Steam Sale, maybe buy Mom's Box of Trinkets later, but we could still play a self-sacrifice room. So don't get it too twisted. Oh, but it's so good. Yo, this is like the most unbelievably lucky series of like 3 or 4 rooms I've had in a long time. We have really improved. So we'll probably do just about everything here. Dude, I was wondering, I was like, why is this episode commentarily, it's got stops and starts? You know why? I got my volume down at like freaking 0. I can hear myself too much. It's not allowing me to get lost in the sauce. I will admit, though, I've had a pretty anecdoteless week so far. Played The Quiet Man on Sunday. You know we're in trouble when one of my favorite anecdotes from the week is, you know, playing a video game. If you haven't, I know there are people, there's Northernlion viewers fall into a few different camps. There's well-adjusted adults, which is a very, very small percentage, and then there's weirdos like me, which is the, you know, by and large, the bulk. Now, what I'm getting at, without being judgmental, you son of a gun, is there's people that watch Isaac, and only Isaac. Basically, for me, I exist as a sleep aid to them. Just fine by me, because the check's still clear. And then, there's people who watch, you know, all of the YouTube content, or, you know, they pick and choose from the YouTube content, but they don't watch any of the Twitch content. And then there's people who pretty much just watch the Twitch content, and probably they were introduced to the channel as a result of Isaac, but they're like, you know, how many times can I watch the same game over and over and over? I respect every single one of these opinions. Because I have to. Hold up here. But if I will say, and I don't do this very often, you know, I'm my own harshest critic. Well, that's never true on the internet, but I'm harsh to myself. Sometimes I'm like, that was a good show. I'm proud of myself. Sometimes I'm like, yeah, that show could have been better. The Quiet Man is a very, very funny series of VODs. I hope you'll check them out if you have not checked them out already. You can watch them on Twitch or YouTube. Doesn't matter to me. If you're not familiar with what's going on in The Quiet Man, neither am I, and I beat the game. So the whole thing about The Quiet Man is that it's an FMV style game, you know, like a Sega CD style extravaganza. Yo. So normally we might want IV bag, but with our lack of HP so far, we might not consider it too relevant here. Hold up. Yeah, this is fine. I'm just trying to... Basically, I'm freaking out now because I'm like, which one is this? I believe that's the Polaroid, strangely enough. So The Quiet Man, it's an FMV-style game. Mixed with a really, really bad three-dimensional beat-em-up, kind of like the Bouncer on the PlayStation 2. I know people are going to be like, and hell, the Bouncer's not a bad game. Please go back and play it. It probably came out when you were like 10, and you just had no concept of what a good game or a bad game was. You were just like, I press X and he punches, you know? It's not a terrible game, but it ain't good. That doesn't make it good. There's a really good get from Book of Sin there. We do get Bookworm for the price of a single key, which is pretty solid. So here's the thing with The Quiet Man. Why is it called The Quiet Man? Because he's deaf. And I know you're like, but that doesn't mean, like, does he hear things quietly or is he quiet? No, he speaks at multiple points throughout the game, and as does everybody, but you can't hear it because you're deaf, and the game doesn't provide subtitles. It even gives you a little note when you start up the game that's like, hey, you know, I bet you played other games. Might as well pick it up at least. You know, when you play other games, they're not made by artistes. They're probably giving you subtitles explaining what the characters are saying. Not in this game. Isn't it amazing how 95% of our communication is nonverbal and yet games provide subtitles? And you're like, dude, what are you talking about? I just want to, you know, I want to experience the story of A Quiet Man. Anyway, it's one of the worst games I've ever played in my entire life. And not only, you son of a gun. Not only is it, terrible, it's uniquely terrible because most terrible games, and this is why games get spared the Mystery Science Theater 3000 route a lot, most terrible games are too long to sustain a playthrough. You know, if an RPG is horrible, are you really going to play 35, 40 hours of it to see where things go? Maybe, maybe not. That was really dumb of me. But a 3-hour-long game that's 90% cutscenes? Dude, that's easy. So I would recommend it. If only to be abreast of the game, you know, when, you know, year-end Game of the Year lists start coming out, because it's gonna get a lot of ironic mentions, would be my guess, you know. Most WTF Game of the Year, The Quiet Man. Guaranteed. You think that I don't know what's going on in this industry, but I do. I promise you that. We should, I mean, this is Caves 2, right? Yeah. So we're way ahead of schedule. Run's going amazingly. We should explore and try to find a self-sacrifice room. In the meantime, I'm going to caffeinate if you don't mind. Ah! Okay. So, I don't necessarily... I might be able to get one key piece out of you, but it's going to cost me big time. You know what? Who dares wins. Except in this case, I'm like, is there even... Don't ever speak to me. Is there literally even a chance we win here? I feel blessed. Way up. What I'm trying to do is get to the point... Please just don't walk over that. Where... we get the chance for 7 Spirit Hearts paid out, but I don't think we had enough HP to get there anyway. I thought maybe an Angel deal would be open here, even though that doesn't really make sense. I thought maybe because we were blessed it would flip it around, but the thing is, look, you don't need to tell me that that was dumb. The only reason I was doing it in the first place is because we only have 2 things to do on this run. Mega Satan and the chest. On an average run, would I ever do that? I mean, I can't say no. I've done some very boneheaded things in this game. But it certainly would not be, you know, close to the top of the list for high priority strategic decisions. Plus, you know me, I don't play a self-sacrifice room unless, you know, the Mega Satan's in play for the most part. Okay. You must... Oh! Extremely important. But even still, we probably would have been better off saving our HP in the hopes of finding a self-sacrifice room where we could have leveraged all of our HP. My only hope here is that we can still make that happen. It's not really even that unlikely. What? I dispute this. What I mean by it's not that unlikely is, you know... Okay, hello. Between, you know, tinted rocks and, you know, all these skulls over here, and who knows, we get a Hierophant card, we get, just a couple, Demon Hearts or something like that. See? Told you. 4 bombs for a Demon Heart. Great trade. Unironically, but also, you know. You are bad now. What happened? Brain? It's these new silkworms, dude. They don't adhere to the same rules of engagement as the other ones. It's against the Geneva Convention. Yes we will. Either way, don't let this run slip away because of your own idiocy, you know? This run is a playground to some extent. You know, we really... Our overall goal is at least to beat the chest. Please be the secret room and make me Guppy. Okay. Well, we should not... and will not yet go to that room. But I want to. 9 lives gives us some sacrifice room potential. If only by allowing us to be a little bit more, you know, confident in ourselves. That even if we die, he's in my will somewhere. JZ. Diamonds from Sierra Leone remixed. It's Mom's box of trinkets. So we will take our Spirit Heart. I think we have to try this. I love Tammy's head, don't get me wrong. But the chance, I hope that this can pay out with Missing Poster. This is where I overcommit to a very, you know, bespoke strategy, and then people let me know that in the, the Jelly Bean ice cream sandwich patch 2.5 years ago, they made it so you can't get Missing Poster out of Mom's box of trinkets because it was too easy. People were having too much fun, we had to nerf it. Nah. So I don't expect this to work, but it could. The loss of Tammy's head, by the way. Major, I almost thought we had it there. Major loss. Thank you, Iron Bar, for the modest but still welcome damage upgrade. And this is probably a second secret room. I will try these. Tears Down didn't even work, so catch me next time, please. Shouldn't even do this for a key, but I did. Okay, what is this? This is Depths 1. We took forever on this floor. Very, very nice. Although it is going to affect our rate of fire. Because I am a fool, but also a hopeless dreamer at heart, I am going to go to this curse room and we'll see how it works. The thing is we shouldn't, because I mean, all of our stats are set, but there's a Guppy chance. Mom, you don't understand what it's like. No. Because what we do, we've already done boss rush, I think. Yeah. So we're going to teleport out with the Fool card, and we will be set for life. I also saw, throughout this week, you know, I already talked about the Quiet Man. Let me caffeinate. I also saw a movie, believe it or not. ONL. Did you see Lady Gaga's star-making turn, A Star Is Born? No, I didn't. You know why? because the tickets were sold out. I hear the movie is fantastic. Look, I'm going to level with you. I'm a young adult male. Probably not the prime demo for A Star Is Born. You know why I would go see that movie? I like good cinema. I'm also not in the prime demographic for La La Land. A movie that somebody, I don't know if it was Chris Stuckman or Jeremy Johns, but one of the YouTube film Illuminati must have said something negative about that movie. Because when I started saying, like, oh, La La Land's really good, it really affected me and I enjoyed it a great deal. I got the same talking points over and over. Hollywood loves films about Hollywood. Yo, we don't want illuminated bulb. But it's nice to know that it's there watching us. Leave a light on, honey. And that's usually what happens when you know, you ask people why they don't enjoy something. Well, let's be more apt. On the internet, that's not what happens. When you say you enjoy something and then people start to criticize it, and they have the exact same talking points, usually it's from an internet video source, a patient zero, if you will. But anyway, dude, here's the thing. If you watch the third act of La La Land, and you went, what a contrived showpiece, you're more of a snob than I am, and that takes work, okay? Yeah, I squirted some. What about it? Anyway, the point is, what was I saying? I'll watch anything that's supposed to be good, but you know what? Pretty hyped for that dang old Overlord, man. Don't want to act clairvoyant, but... Hold on. Luck up, yes. Retrovision, haha, you got me. I saw the trailer for Overlord in front of one of the, you know, better movies of the summer without a doubt. Fantastic film, Mission Impossible, Fallout, maybe you've heard of it, if you're a film scholar. I said to myself, you know, a lot of these other trailers look like garbage. But Overlord, that one looks interesting. So, again, hold on, start here. Yes, we will, even though we probably shouldn't, especially if we need to play a self-sacrifice room at some point. I firmly believe it's actually the Polaroid. I will take pointy rib. Wait, where was I going with this? Anyway, I thought Overlord looked good, and then it, you know, was coming out, it was getting decent reviews. It's not certified fresh yet because most of the reviews. Here's something if you're not familiar with the workings of the film business, you know, I've been involved in it, you know, on the sidelines for a long time. But when movies like Overlord come out, sometimes their first couple of screenings are to what is known as the enthusiast press. And I don't mean this as an insult, it's the same reason that publishers often invite YouTubers to preview events to get their opinions on games for back-of-the-box quotes. Because it's a little bit less of a discerning audience for the most part, and I wish that I could say that and have it not be true, but it is true. You know, if you invite me to an event and then you go, hey, how do you feel about the game? The no-holds-barred action will keep you on the edge of your seat. Northernlion. If you invite like a professional reviewer, they're going to be like, I decline to give a quote until I have time to sit down with the game and to give it its proper, you know, due. That's a much more appropriate response. But they oftentimes do screenings and they invite, you know, like Bloody Disgusting, and it's set at comingsoon.net, and, you know. So the fact that the reviews are good now doesn't necessarily mean they're going to be good later, but it seems like it's pretty good. Also, it's got Kurt Russell's son in it, and my dude almost exclusively takes good roles, it seems. So more power to you, dude. Okay. So, this run. Treating it like a little bit of a warm-up. Definitely made some mistakes, both tactical and otherwise, so far. And you gotta cut me some slack on my film choices, by the way. It's not until March that a new Marvel movie comes out. That's hard for me to deal with. 2018, February, Black Panther. Well, let's even go further. November 2017, Thor Ragnarok. February 2018, Black Panther. April, Infinity War. July, Ant-Man and the Wasp. August, September, October, November, December, January, February, nothing till Captain Marvel. You know? How am I supposed to decide for myself what to see at the multiplex when there's no Marvel movies? Anyway, I saw Halloween. Weirdly enough, I've never seen the original Halloween, even though I love John Carpenter. Or at least everything John Carpenter did up until, like, you know, 1994. My review of the new Halloween comes from a fresh perspective of having not seen the franchise before. I would give it a solid 7 out of 10. I want to point out, despite being a Marvel fanboy, that does put it ahead of Ant-Man and the Wasp. So plan accordingly. Yo, please. Missing poster one of these days, dude. So we could get item rooms down here, but I really like just the raw damage stat. I gotta admit. I thought, here's the thing. You know, we're talking movies, okay? I hope you've heard of them. 2018's breakout horror movie, 100% is, you're like, he's gonna say Hereditary. No. The Nun. No, it's Hereditary. Everybody knows, okay? If you haven't seen Hereditary yet, you gotta see it. At least see it, because if you like it, you can start joining in the online discussions about it. And if you don't like it, you get a little air of superiority, and you go, I don't think it was that good. So after seeing Hereditary, like, my thoughts on horror movies this year have been permanently altered. Because, like, in order to be #1 horror movie 2018, it has to be so good now. Halloween 2018 is not like Hereditary. It's not a vice grip of tension that just, you know, has no mercy and slowly just sucks the life out of you the more you watch it, you know? It has moments of tension relief. I also do have to point out, like, a lot of the people, just in general, like, if you die to Mike Myers in Halloween, most of these people, I'm not going to say that they deserve to die. Even though they're fictional characters that might get me in some hot water. What I will say, and I'm not saying, NL, because they were engaged in premarital intercourse or taking of illicit drugs, they deserve to die. No, it's because they don't jog. They just don't. Like, Mike Myers is so slow. You know, if you see him coming, there should be no reason that Mike Myers gets to plunge his kitchen knife into your chest. It just doesn't make sense to me. But the movie is still pretty good. And you know what? Dare I say, again, at the risk of seeming a little bit self-inflated and clairvoyant, there was an Isaac episode recently where I was talking about, hey, whatever happened to that guy from Armageddon? You know, like the 45-year-old guy who was Bruce Willis's second in command. He was like, you know, his daughter does, or his son doesn't like him, so he gives his son the rocket ship when he leaves, and he says, make sure he knows who his father was. Yo, that's Guppy. He goes, make sure he knows who his father was. Or he probably says daddy. Make sure he knows who his daddy was. I could stay awake just to hear you breathing. That's a new world where the Crash Test Dummies did the... and I don't want to miss a... Once there was an asteroid hurtling towards the Earth, and we wanna not get killed. But when they sent the eggheads, they found harder to drill than the space flight. Couldn't quite explain it. You get the idea. Anyway, he's in it. And I went, there he is! Long time no see, my friend. Hey, can I... No, I know where I was going with this. Okay. So, mere seconds ago, I said to myself, why did I play a self-sacrifice room earlier? It's because I thought I still had Mega Satan dreams. And, believe it or not, I may still. I may still. But I want to try to get maybe some more HP in the process. Consumables are irrelevant now. We've ascended. We're on like Dr. Manhattan levels. One of these days, dude, is gonna pay out with the right trinket. Anyway, that was my weekend, etc., etc. That and I won't belabor the point, but the second coming of Christ, aka Elias Pettersson, actually making the Canucks franchise be like, wait a minute, we're like, I mean, I still expect to be like in the bottom 8 or 9 teams when the season ends, but me and every other Canucks fan right now is like, we're looking at each other going, are we good? That was unexpected. Thank you, Sweden. A great amount of respect for your country. And it's not just because of grand strategy games, Marcus Naslund, the Sedin twins, Thomas Gradin, Elias Pettersson, Alex Edler. I gotta say, Sammy Salo, but I think Sammy Salo might be Finnish. Give me one moment. Sammy Salo. Finnish. I'm so sorry. Both to Sweden for assuming that a Finn was Swedish, and to the Finns for assuming that their Finnish all-star defenseman was Swedish as well. Oh, you got Patrick Laine. Don't sweat it. Plus, if Jake Virtanen breaks out, you can sort of claim him. Anyway. Ha hockey. I got a level with you. We're really giving this one our all as far as like using Mom's box of trinkets. Keep in mind, we gave up a very good item in order to use Mom's box of trinkets, and still sort of working on it. Hoping this would be a great floor for us to get it, because there is a self-sacrifice room right over there. No such luck. I will, because of the fact that we could get a 7 Spirit Heart payout, I'm willing to give this a shot. I want to shoot for the moon, because this run, let's be honest, if you play the tape forward, Gwyneth Paltrow sliding door style, we've already won this run. It proves nothing to win this run at this point. As ridiculous as that sounds, like, if you can't win this run, you know, are you really playing Isaac? Like, is this your first Isaac run of all time? So, I think for us, in order to prove ourselves, you know, why not at least take ourselves out of our comfort zone a little bit? Yo. So we will take Holy Light. And you know what? I mean, I don't think this will help us, unless it gives us the second... It did give us the second key piece? Okay. Strange. Thank you. First key piece, please. Okay, so we've done it, and you know, that hopefully redeems a lot of the problems you might have had with our previous play. Oh, do not get hit by that. Because I mean, that's a big move. So in theory, we could be able to finish Samson's post-it note on this very run. Well, how about that? Delightful. A second secret room. Told ya. Okay, again, do not get hit on this room. That would be embarrassing. You are potentially one hit away from death at any given moment. That is not missing poster. Don't get it twisted. Why are you paying out with trinkets? I love it. They're just not the right trinkets. It's the thought that counts, but like, only sort of. Yo, Proptosis, though. Okay, we'll Joker real quick. We will take the Pact. Could have played the Demon Judgment a little bit first, but it's kind of unnecessary. Alright, we should be almost unstoppable, but we could take hits against beam-based enemies. We could take hits against Mega Satan, who is also, in his own way, kind of a beam-based enemy. So, to stack up a little bit of HP would be nice. I do not want to have to rely on Guppy's Collar. And at this point, by the way, I don't really care if he pays out with missing poster, because there's no way for us to die on a sacrifice room, so... This would be a perfect time for it to show up for ironic purposes. Okay, that's very helpful. This has ended up being an incredibly strong run. It's a nice warm-up, you know? I haven't felt like I've been totally in the game. So for me to have a little bit of a ramp-up period where I can just get adjusted to the way things are supposed to go is quite nice. Thank you, Flies. Just, like, absolutely destroyed him. We will absolutely just go fight Mega Satan right away. I hope that we were supposed to go down to the chest, in which case this would be an extremely productive run. No lost unlocks, but we really gave it our all. We did! I mean, we used Mom's Box of Trinkets, like, at least 25 times. So I'm pretty sure that, like, we just can't be killed. We have no defensive items, well, except for Guppy's hairball, I guess, esoterically, but, like, our damage output is just so unbelievably high. Nothing can stop us. Not to mention the Flies, not to mention Holy Light, not to mention Fate's Reward, weirdly enough. This is just pure dominance. Will you even get to attack? Mom's Contact almost made it so we were completely safe. Very, very good. The Bloody Penny has appeared in the basement. Yo, like, okay, thank you for the babies, yes, but I think I was looking for Bloody Penny on a previous run. So, dude, that was a huge play. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys have enjoyed the episode. If you did, click the like button. It was a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. And follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/Northernlion. Be notified I want to go live in the future. For now, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. See ya!